Hello fellow class artists. Today I want to show you how to make pop-up artwork. So today we are going to be learning how to make pop-up castles. And I made mine Halloween themed because I'm getting pretty excited for Halloween. So we're going to learn a strategy to make pop-up art, and then I'm gonna show you how to draw a castle. But you can draw whatever you want on your pop-up artwork. Let's get started. Create a pop-up castle, you'll need a few things. You will need a piece of paper to be your base and another piece of paper to create the pop-up elements, so the pop-up castle, a glue stick, some scissors, a pencil, and then something to decorate your castle with. So that could be markers, crayons, colored pencils. It's completely up to you. All right, let's get started. The first step in creating your pop-up castle is to fold your paper in half the long way. So your paper should be looking at you the tall way, or the hamburger way as I like to call it, not the long way or the hot dog way. Your paper should not be in landscape mode, it should be in portrait mode. So go ahead and fold your paper in half, making sure to line the ends up very close together. Make a very, very tight crease. All right, the next step is to find the folded side of your paper. On that folded side, you are going to make two lines with your pencil in the middle of the paper. It's very important that your two lines are the same length and that they're a little far apart. Kind of like this. All right, once you've created those lines, you're going to take your scissors and you are going to cut along the lines. Now, before you open your paper up, there's one last thing that you have to do to make it a little easier to make the pop out part. So take the flap that you just cut and fold it up and make a really tight crease. All right, then you can fold it back down. Okay, so when you open your paper, you are going to notice that what you cut creates this little pop out kind of shelf almost. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold your paper up kind of like this is the floor and this is the wall. You're going to fold your paper up and you're going to pop out that middle part that we just cut. I'll show it to you from the side. So it should look like this. It almost makes a square when it's completely popped out. So it can be flat or popped out. All right. Go ahead and fold your paper in half again just to make that crease of our pop out that much stronger. And then when you open it back up, your paper should stand up and there should be a little shelf right here on your paper. This is what it looks like from the side. Okay, now that we've created the base, we are able to begin making pop-up elements for our pop-up castle. So when you look at your paper, this will be the background and this will be the ground or the foreground of your castle. So we're going to go ahead and create our castle or our house or whatever you want to pop up, and then we are going to attach it to this part right here so that we can create the pop-up. All right, let's go ahead and make our castle. So on your new piece of paper, you can create a house, a castle. It could be Halloween themed. You could make a spooky castle, however you want. But you want to keep in mind how big this paper is. So I think I'm gonna keep my paper about the same length, but maybe make my castle a little bit smaller so that it doesn't take up the whole paper. So to create my castle, I'm just gonna make kind of a big rectangle. And then I'm going to add maybe some towers. Make your castle however you want, but this is just one way that you can make a castle. I think this top is going to have kind of that classic, not zigzag, but that classic brick top of a castle. So in order to do that, you go over, down, over, up, over, down, over, up. And you just keep doing that until you're at the end. I think I'm also going to do that for this part of my castle. Now it's okay if there's a few lines in the middle of your castle because most castles are made out of brick or stone. So you can go back in and create lines to create those bricks. So first draw a few lines going straight across. And then you can go back in and add lines going up and down to create the bricks. Now I created 2 lines here, so for the next level I'm going to create lines that are slightly over from those first lines to create a brick pattern. Now, because I'm going to make a castle that's Halloween themed, I'm going to make sure that there are some windows in my castle so I can add some spooky things to the background. All right, now you can go ahead and decorate your castle however you want. You can add color or other little details. All right, once you're finished decorating your castle, you can go ahead and cut it out. All right, bring back in your pop out piece of paper that we made. Now I've made a X on the part where we are going to glue our castle. Now you don't need to make an X, but I just made an X so that it's a little more clear on video where we're going to be gluing our pop-up castle. So find the part of your pop-out that is facing the ground of your pop-out. All right, you are going to make sure that your castle is lined up with the crease where this part touches the ground. If it goes too far, it might make it hard to pop out. So something that I like to do is I like to just kind of line it up. All right, I think I'm ready to add it. So I'm going to add some glue right where the X is, over the whole X, that whole flap. All right, and then I'm going to pop it out a little bit to make sure that my bottom lines up with the bottom, and then I am going to glue it down. So I'm going to hold it on for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's easier to glue it when it's flat. All right, so now my paper looks kind of flat, but when I pop it out, it's going to stand up. Now, sometimes the paper needs a little help, so if you're displaying this, you might want to put something behind it, but your castle should be popping out from your paper, just like this. Now, you can go back and you can add things to your background and your foreground. So maybe there is a moat leading up to your castle. You can go ahead and draw that however you want. You can also add other pop-up elements to your foreground by drawing something on a piece of paper and then making sure that the bottom can fold over to create a flap to glue to the ground. So let's go ahead and add some more details. Wow, that was so much fun. I really loved making my pop-up artwork. I'd love to see what kind of beautiful pop-up artwork you come up with. So tag Monroe Street Art Center on Facebook or Instagram to share with us what you made. See you next time.